This is Bob Anderson, and I'm going to do my market update for day 7 and day 8 of my funded account with Apex Trader Funding. Today is August 24th. I didn't do a report on days after day 7, which I'm kind of busy at work. But anyways, I think I made 600 and some dollars. I had two trade. I had one trade that was a loss, right? I lost. First trade I took again. Seems like that's what's happening to me lately. First trade was a loss. Second trade went in my favor, came back, knocked me out at break even. And then my third trade was just, it was just a sweet one. It was just a sweet one, because I made over $700 on it. I netted for the day either $600 or $625, something like that. Today, I was extremely busy, and it's same scenario, by the way, as the day before, because I had one win, one tie, and one loss. Started off with a loss. Then I got into a trade and had a tie, and then I got into a trade, and it was later in the morning. I was stopped, looked at my chart, and I said, oh, this thing's rolling up. Let me grab a contract, throw it in there, and just get my lost money back. So what I did is I counted how many ticks it needed to go up. And I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you how it is. And I said, okay, I need to make $125. I grabbed my target, threw it up there for $125, and that thing went ding, ding, ding. And I hit it with one contract in, maybe 2 minutes. Boom, break even, and I just walked away from the charts. I was like, okay, I'm done. Hey, between yesterday and today, making $600 and some dollars, when I only needed to make $800 in the last 7 days of the month, I'm doing all right. Anyways, sometimes I have to keep remembering that. Folks, you got to remember, I started my live funded account on August 15th. I'm staying with 1-2 contracts, trying to keep it, reasonable. Don't go cowboyish. And here I am on August 24th, so that means I'm on day 8 of trading. And I'm $1,800 and some odd dollars ahead. And I'm working full time. I'm not trading. But those of you that would be interested in trading, I come back and I look at the charts at the end of the day and I go, oh my God, that was a great trade right there. Oh my God, there was a great trade right there. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what are the lines on my charts and stuff like that. And then I'm going to just show you them on my chart as to what I mean. But anyway, so here's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that I have on my Ninja chart. And they're not even indicators. They're just assistants per se and things like that. So first off, and they're not in any specific order. They just happen to be how they popped up on my screen when I said, show me my chart management thing. So I have a SMA, which you go into your chart. What is this thing called? You go into your indicators button. You go into your indicators button on your Ninja screen, and you pull up the available ones. Well, the available one you need first off would be SMA. You need to set the periods to 14. And then on my chart, that's the green line. Okay. The next one is SMA set to 21 periods. That's my red line. That's my slow elephant. That's my slow elephant. He has a purpose, by the way. Then I got my EMA, which I could make money just trading the EMA all by itself. Seriously, I could make money just trading the EMA. This is the most important one. The next one is EMA, and the period is set to 9. and that is the gold/yellow line on the chart, on my chart. Next is swing. And what that is that helps me see to the left with dots of where my previous pivots were before it rotated down or up or whatever. It's just an eye soothing thing. It just makes it easier for me to recognize the breaks of the price action and things like that. So that's what that's for. It just makes it easier for me to read the chart without having to really look to the left. Then I have a bar timer, which is extremely important on my most conservative trade entry strategy. You really need a bar timer on each chart. You need one on your 1 minute chart, you need one on your 5 minute chart, and it sits down in the bottom right hand corner. Tells you how long the candle, it's a countdown of how long the candle is going to stay open. Very important. Like on the 1 minute chart, it'll start, go to 59, 58, 57, da, 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 da. But the most important part is like when it gets to 1, second, and then 0, that's when I can drop my conservative break, I call it a continuation trade, but I can drop my order in at the top of that candle if we're going long, or at the bottom of that candle if we're going short. Is by watching that bar chart, and then as soon as it goes to 0, click, bam, now my trade's in there. Anyways, and then last on my chart is a thing called current day OHL, overnight high low. So what it does is it shows you the high of the day and the low of the day, but it also shows the overnight open, which is my gold dash that I have going across my chart, which I've showed you guys multiple times in these videos, how that thing is very impressive. Very impressive reaction of price action off that overnight open. Anyways, so what I wanted to do is these are just the basic 6 things. They're not even, this is just to help me see, this is to help me with my trade entries, and this is to keep me from fighting that overnight open, because it's a beast to try to plow through it if you're taking a long into it because it's above you, or taking a short down through it if it's below you. You really don't want to do that. Anyways, so that's that. Now I'm going to just talk about my two simple trades, I guess, that are just easy to do. One is very easy to do, and it just makes it just the simplest thing to manage. I have an ATM strategy that I call continuation. And the way I have it programmed in my ATM on Ninja is I have my stop loss set at 5, and then I have my target set at 12. Okay, now that's important. I have target set at 12, and the reason it's set at 12, even though I talk about 5 points, 12 being 3 points, by the way, the reason I have it set at 3 points or 12 ticks versus 5 points or 20 ticks is because it's the conservative trade. So it's the one that's already showing you the reversal when you enter. So you're already entering in the trade. You're not grabbing the knife falling, but instead you're going back with the knife the other direction after it's already showing that. So that's why I call it the conservative trade, the continuation trade, because the market's already showing you, okay, here we go. Now we're going that way, and and because of that, it has a shorter lifetime. It has, because it's already given up a couple points normally on the reversal into your direction by the time you enter it. If I'm making any sense. If the whole move is going to be, say, 6 or 7 points, you're grabbing the 3 in the middle. My gap trade, or whatever you want to call it, the one where I grab it at the gold line, I sometimes step myself in at the gold line. That's my 5-point trade. It's a little more of aggressive trade, and you really got to feel the market when you start, if you try to do that trade. But that one is really for 5 points because I'm grabbing it at the reversal point. I'm getting in that trade at the reversal point. So if there's 7 points of movement in there, I'm trying to get 5 of them, if that makes sense. So let me just kind of show you on one of these charts. And by the way, these moving averages and all this stuff, ironically, they work on both charts. They work on the 5-minute and they work on the 1-minute. I just use the 5-minute as my direction and I use my 1-minute as my enter because I want to be really conservative about my stop losses and stuff. 5-minute has a tendency that you need more room in your trades. But just to show you what I mean, I'll show you this on the 5-minute that happened this evening right before the market closed. All right. Right before the market closed, this is the 5-minute chart, okay? Right before the market closed, you had this roll up that broke the pivots here. Let me get my crosshairs going. Cancel. There we go. Okay, you had this roll up. This is on the 5-minute chart now. And you broke these pivots here, both these pivots, both of them to the left. You ran up, came down, and ding, touched your gold line. And let's just say you took that trade at 41, 44.50. It ran up 41.52. So just under 8 points. So as I said, if you're grabbing them down at the gold lines, that's where you can get the 5-point movements to maybe 7 or 8 points, but you can't get anything bigger, really normally, unless you're gonna ride a little soft pullback and then a push through and another pullback. I mean, but anyways, that's kind of how that one works. But I thought it was important that I'd show you that, just so you could see that these lines even work on the 5-minute chart, even though I use them on the 1-minute chart predominantly. Now, when I say that I only take a long, for example, on the 1-minute chart, when the 5-minute chart agrees, that means price action, all this price action in here, is above minimum these red lines. The red line is really the change. If you can see how it comes down, pushes up, comes down, pushes up. The red line is the important one. That's really your line in the sand. At least that's the way I look at it. I prefer to be on the outside of all 3 lines, if that makes sense. I prefer to be on the outside of all 3 lines when I'm taking a long, but say on the 1-minute, but minimum I need to be above the red line. So anyways, back over here on my 1-minute chart where I actually do take my trades. I want to just, let's just open this thing up and see if I can find something to show you. Oh yeah, we had this downturn that happened today, so after lunch. But anyways, so here's what I want to show you, just to give you an idea of what the continuation trade is. Okay, let's talk about the continuation trade. That's my most conservative trade, and I've shown it before on a previous video, but I'm going to show it again right now. And it's the most conservative. Again, I use it with a 5-tick stop loss and at least in a 12-tick target. So you're risking per contract, you're risking $62.50 and you're looking for $150 profit. Whereas, the gap one is $125 risk per contract and 250 win. Keep this in mind. That's how, when you enter the trade, that's how your profit and loss stops go out on the screen. That doesn't mean that's where you have to leave them. If you see if you enter this trade right here, see, this is a roll down, roll up into the gold line, and you're going to take a continuation break, okay? That would mean you would be entering when this candle right here, this red one, this big long red one, when that one breaks. So the bottom of it is 41.44.50. So you're going to go in at 41.44.25. Now, when that in this whole action right here, because you can't tell because it's all within a minute, this could have gone over here, pulled up, and then slammed down. Once you see a formation create itself, I would immediately grab my stop and put it above that top. So I would be at 45.25. And my entry is 44.25. So I'm at a point. Okay. Then what happens is my ATM strategy on both trades, when they go 7 ticks in my favor, 7 ticks, my stop automatically goes to break even. So that's why I get a lot of trades where I get knocked out at even, because I'm seeing the trades right. Okay. So I 7 ticks going in your favor means you're on the right side of the trade. You entered properly. Okay. But it just may not have had the follow through and reverse back and, stop you out or whatever. But again, I'll take the opportunity if I get knocked out at break even, because that means I was on the right side of the trade. Anyways, whereas my other trade, which is my gap trade, I call it dipping the toe. I'll step my way into this one. I'll just kind of touch myself one contract in here and then throw another contract down here, so that I have 2 in and down we go. And I'll try to get 5 points out of at least this half. This candle right here goes from 46 down to 44.50. So it's a 1.5. So that's what I was talking about. When it's going in your direction, it may already be a 1.5 to 2 points already in your direction if you're doing the conservative trade, which is the continuation trade. And by the way, that's a nice, safe trade to take over and over again. And if you learn how to do it, it'll make you money. But anyways, and then once you get really good at it and you get rhythmic at it and you recognize how it works, you can start loading up more contracts. The key is, as I've said before, I like to stay, if I'm going to go long, I like to be outside the lines, like right in here. I like to be outside above the lines. These all 3 of these lines, I want to be above it, and I certainly want it to agree with my 5-minute chart. But here we had a pullback, and then your long would have been right here. I mean, this pulled back into your gold line. If you don't take the trade off the gold line, say on this long, and see the thrust up, this is the sign here. Here's the big, huge thrust up, the pullback, it rolled, and it's waiting. What's happening is price action outran the moving averages. So price action is waiting for these moving averages to come and then push it. That's what's really going on right there. So if you wait and you keep watching your bar timer of when this candle right here is going to close, you drop your entry in at 41.50, you get in and wham, up it goes. It automatically ran up about 2 points, so your stop's already at even. As long as this wick doesn't come down and take you out, bam, it keeps on going. You're doing a continuation trade, So boom, there you are. Ironically, here's where you get out. Right there at 41.53. Remember what I told you? I said these things only have so much leg in them, and look at that, it rolled over. So it went 3 points from the top of this candle right here before it rolled over. Now let's go over here. Okay, same thing. We rolled up, broke the pivot to my left here. So and by the way, this is this is the high. So we broke the high, rolled back into the moving averages, bam, up we go. By the way, I took that trade. That's the trade I took off the gold line to get my money back right here. Bing, bang. You can see my little entries there. Actually, there it is. I took that trade. And I mean, look at, from the moment I went in, boom, I'm in the good. I'm in the good. So how much did that one move? Let's just say off the top here, you're in at 54.75. So 57.75 is right there. So it went about 3.5 points from the top. Where I got in, because I went off the gold line right here, I told you guys earlier, I put my target to where I'd be at break even and just be done for the day. But look at how smooth, look at how smooth that is. It's just, honestly, it's just, oh, and your stop. So I'm in here because my pivot's right here. My pivot through all this, my bottom, and my stop is just right here. So I'm at 52.75. My entry is 53.75. 53.75 up to 58.50 is almost 5 points with a 1 point stop loss. So, anyways, I don't know if I'm making it sound too simple or whatnot, but that's just kind of how I use my simplified trading strategy, which is pure price action. Pure price action. I thought it was interesting. I didn't even make these. I didn't even pre-plan any of these trades to show you, but I thought it was interesting that I was able to show you how price ran up through the high, and then you could see it waiting for the moving average to catch up with it before it pushed it again. So you don't have to chase anything. You don't have to, you don't have to chase anything and risk money. You don't have to be taking trades out in limbo and then be like, oh God, and praying that something's gonna go your way. So anyways, that's my video for what my charts are and what my basic trade strategy is using these indicators or whatnot and using these charts. And I mean, it's very successful, very easy. And you can, like I said, the best part about the ES, and if you get comfortable with it and you want to do 3 contracts or 4 contracts, I mean, it's just as liquid. You're not going to impact it in any negative way. So that's it. I hope everybody learned something from that. And I'm sorry I didn't do a video yesterday, but I think yesterday was plus $600. Today was just down some commissions. So like $15 negative because of commissions or something like that. My net is 51,800 at this point in time. I wanted to get to 2,000. I'm pretty confident we'll be doing that by the end of the week anyways. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much and goodbye.